Most dogs are not asking for more from you. Not more toys, not more treats, not even more time. What many of them are asking for is something harder to notice, a clearer kind of safety, because a dog can live in a loving home and still spend parts of the day guessing. Guessing when you are available. Guessing whether your voice means comfort or correction. Guessing whether closeness is welcome or whether they should move away and be easy. And over time, those small guesses become the emotional weather of their life. So in this video, I want to show you 8 quiet things that help a dog feel secure with you. Not spoiled, not overly dependent, secure. And as we go, I want you to notice something important. Some of these behaviors can look sweet on the surface, following you everywhere, watching you constantly, getting overwhelmed when you leave the room. Sometimes that is normal attachment. Sometimes it is strain. This isn't a diagnosis, but it can help you tell the difference between normal attachment and behavior that may need support. Number 1, give them a moment that is fully theirs. Most affection in a dog's day is fragmented. A quick pat while you pass by, a rub on the head while talking to someone else, a distracted good dog without really stopping. None of that is bad, but it is not the same as full attention. And dogs are often better at detecting divided presence than people realize. Try this tonight. When your dog comes near you on their own, do not immediately turn it into a command, a joke, or a routine. Do not reach absent-mindedly and keep doing 3 other things. Pause. Face them. Let your body slow down. Touch them somewhere they already like being touched. Then stay there long enough for the interaction to change. That is the key. The first few seconds are often just contact. After that, you start to see whether the dog actually settles. Their eyes soften, their jaw loosens, their weight drops, their breathing gets slower. That shift matters, because the real gift is not the petting itself. It is the feeling of, I do not have to stay alert right now. And that gives you useful information too. If your dog seeks contact but cannot relax inside it, that does not automatically mean something is wrong. But it can be a clue worth noticing, especially if you see the same pattern across the day. Security is not just about being loved. It is about whether your dog's body knows what to do with your love once it arrives. Number 2, let your voice mean comfort sometimes. A lot of dogs hear their name mostly inside management. Come here. Leave it. Off. No. Wait. Move. Again, that is normal. Dogs live with guidance. That is part of sharing a life with them. But if your voice only appears when you need something, your dog can start listening with tension instead of warmth. So start creating moments where your voice asks for nothing. Say their name gently when they are already calm, not to summon them, not to test them, not to interrupt what they are doing, just to include them. Then stop. That pause teaches something powerful. It teaches your dog that attention from you is not always the beginning of pressure. And that distinction becomes especially important in dogs who seem extremely clingy. Some dogs stay close because they are social and bonded. Some stay close because they are scanning constantly, trying to predict the next cue before it happens. This isn't a diagnosis, but it can help you tell the difference between normal attachment and behavior that may need support. Here is a simple question to use this week. When my dog hears me, do they soften or mobilize? Do they look up with ease? Or do they tense, rush, hover, and act like they must get the next moment exactly right? That one observation can tell you more than people realize. Sometimes the strongest bond cue in a home is not the leash, the feeding routine, or the bed. It is the emotional tone attached to your voice. Number 3, stop making every walk a negotiation you always win. Many owners think a good walk is efficient. No pulling, no stopping, no circling back, no wasting time at bushes, poles, or corners, patches of grass. But for a dog, a walk is not only movement, it is investigation, orientation, choice. When every step is rushed, corrected, or redirected, the walk may still burn energy, but it does not always meet the deeper need underneath it, the need to participate. That is why one of the easiest upgrades you can make is this. Build one choice into the walk on purpose. At a safe corner, wait half a beat and see which direction your dog offers. At a familiar patch of grass, let them finish the sniff before you interrupt it. At the start of the walk, let the first 30 seconds belong more to them than to your agenda. Not every moment. not complete chaos. Just one meaningful pocket of agency, because dogs do not only need leadership, they need influence. And dogs who get no healthy influence sometimes go looking for it in less convenient ways. They freeze, they resist, they grab things, they become weirdly controlling about rituals. They appear stubborn in moments that seem too small to explain the reaction. Sometimes that is training fallout, sometimes it is arousal, sometimes it is frustration built from always being handled and rarely being heard. A dog does not need to run the household to benefit from choice. They just need occasional proof that their behavior can shape something real. Number 4, make your return easy to understand. When you come home, your dog is not just being dramatic. They are reading the reunion, your energy, your speed, your eyes, your hands, whether you reconnect or just pass through them on the way to the rest of your evening. A lot of owners accidentally create confusion here. They either come in overstimulating the moment even more, or they ignore the dog so completely that the dog stays emotionally suspended. There is a better middle. Come home in a way your dog can read. Open the door. Pause. Acknowledge them clearly. Say their name. Offer one calm touch, then continue. That tiny ritual can change the whole tone of the next hour. Because the reunion question in your dog's body is simple. Are we back together now? And if your answer is clear, many dogs stop asking it with barking, spinning, jumping, or frantic shadowing. This is also a good moment to observe recovery. A dog can be thrilled to see you and still regulate well. Excitement alone is not the concern. The more useful question is, what happens after the hello? Do they settle once the moment is understood? Or do they stay escalated, pacing the house, panting, vocalizing, unable to come down even after you are home? This isn't a diagnosis, but it can help you tell the difference between normal attachment and behavior that may need support. Security is not proven by how big the greeting is. Often, it is revealed by how quickly the nervous system can return to baseline afterward. Number 5, repair the confusion, not just the behavior. Every home has ruptures. You step on a paw. You pull too hard on the leash because you are distracted. You snap because the day has already worn you thin. You moved them abruptly when they were resting, and your body acted before your patience did. The mistake is not the whole story. The part that matters most is what your dog learns after the mistake. A lot of people try to fix these moments too quickly. They say sorry over and over. They rush in with hands. They force cheerfulness. They act as if normality should erase the tension instantly. But that can feel noisy to a dog who is still trying to make sense of what just happened. So instead of chasing forgiveness, offer clarity. Make yourself easier to read. Lower your body. Relax your face. Turn slightly sideways. Soften your hands. Let the space open. That is what repair often looks like in real life. Not, come on, it's fine, but I am safe to approach when you are ready. This is one of the most useful practical shifts in the whole script. Do not demand trust right after you disturbed it. Become trustworthy again. Over time, that changes everything. Because many dogs do not become distant after one bad moment. They become careful after many unrepaired ones. Careful dogs often still obey, still eat, still walk, still live beside you. They just stop melting into your presence the way they used to. And that subtle change is exactly why owners overlook it for so long. Number 6, respect the distance that keeps the bond healthy. Not every step away from you is emotional. Sometimes your dog leaves because the tile is cooler, because the room is quieter, because they are tired, because the children are loud, because they want to sleep without being touched. Because dogs, like people, also regulate through distance. Where owners get into trouble is when they treat every withdrawal like a problem to solve. They follow, they call, they coax, they hover, and slowly the dog loses the experience of having a peaceful exit. That matters more than it sounds. A secure relationship does not only allow closeness, it allows breathing room. And ironically, dogs who are never allowed emotional breathing room can become more dependent, not less. If your dog already sticks to you like glue, watch what happens when they finally choose a spot away from you. Can they settle there? Can they drift into real rest without repeatedly checking your location? Can they stay relaxed even when you move around the house? Or do they stay half alert, getting up over and over, unable to let go of surveillance? This isn't a diagnosis. but it can help you tell the difference between normal attachment and behavior that may need support. Do not measure the bond only by how much your dog wants contact. Then also measure it by how safe they feel when contact is temporarily not happening. Sometimes, the healthiest thing in a relationship is not the return. It is the freedom to leave without anxiety. Number 7. Love the dog that exists now, not just the dog you remember. There is a quiet mistake loving owners make with aging dogs. They keep speaking to the past version, the faster version, the stronger version, the one who bounced back immediately, the one who could hear from the next room, jump into the car, race to the door, recover from anything by morning. But aging changes the terms of comfort, and when owners fail to update their love, older dogs can start living inside tiny daily mismatches. The floor is too slippery, the walk is too long, the cue comes too fast, the bed is too low support, the approach is too sudden, the house is too loud. None of these moments looks dramatic on its own, but together, they can make an older dog feel less understood in the very home they trust most. So here is the practical upgrade. Do not just reduce activity, redesign success. Add traction where they turn. Slow the cue before repeating it. Touch more thoughtfully around sore areas. End outings while they still feel good, not after they are spent. Let comfort become part of the routine, not a last-minute reaction. And most of all, update what devotion looks like. A younger dog may have loved adventure most. An older dog may love predictability, softness, and being approached in ways that do not ask their body to pretend. Do not confuse slowness with fading love. Very often, the bond is still there in full, it just stopped announcing itself with speed. Number 8. When your dog is unsettled, be careful not to add your own panic to their question. This may be the most important one. When dogs cling, tremble, pant, pace, watch doors, follow people, or seem unable to switch off, many owners go straight into fixing mode. Too many words, too much touching, too much emotional noise, too many repeated attempts to reassure a nervous system that has already gone into overload. But distressed behavior is not always solved by more intensity from us. Sometimes it is worsened by it. Your dog is not only listening to what you do, they are reading how you do it. Your hands, your timing, your breathing, your urgency, the way your body moves through the room when something feels wrong. So when your dog is struggling, ask a different question. Not just, how do I make this stop? But, what is my presence teaching their body right now? Move slower. Simplify the room. Use fewer words. Create a place that consistently means decompression. Do not flood the moment with frantic affection if the dog is already overloaded by stimulation. Support is not the same as pressure. And here's the observation that matters. A dog who comes close and then gradually settles may simply be using you as a secure base. A dog who comes close and still cannot settle, even with routine, space, and calm support, may be telling you that affection alone is not solving the strain. This isn't a diagnosis, but it can help you tell the difference between normal attachment and behavior that may need support. If the pattern is intense, persistent, or getting worse, that is the moment to consider qualified behavioral or veterinary support instead of waiting for love alone to fix it. Because love matters. But support is also love. So if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Your dog does not need you to perform devotion all day. They need your presence to become predictable enough that their body can rest inside it. That is what security is. A voice that does not always bring pressure. A hand that does not always interrupt. A walk that includes their point of view. A reunion they can understand. A mistake that gets repaired. A little distance without emotional cost. An older body that gets honored. A hard day that is met with steadiness instead of more chaos. That kind of bond is quiet. It will not always look impressive from the outside, but inside the life of a dog, it means everything. This is Mr. Hidden Mind, and on this channel, we pay attention to the silent signals that shape trust long before the world notices them.